Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here, obviously, right? Since you're here for my stream, and it's me. Makes sense. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you had a good day. Finally got some nice sunshine here today at the Homestead, which is always a nice thing. Excuse me. I opened this already, so I have to do the like I'm opening it now. So hold on. There we go. Now we're ready. Okay. I opened it up a minute early and I got yelled at because no, you got to do that on stream. So anyway, uh, so I hope, like I said, before we get into anything, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those simple, easy rules, then those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here because we're not going to have it. So, so I again, I'm like going blank here. So please, somebody remind me of what my title is because I'll go off of that because I don't remember what I put down for the title of the live stream. So if you guys would let me know, I have been off mentally, so it's not my fault. Oh, what to do? Okay, thank you. What can we do? All right, thank you. All right, yes. So I was thinking of, so it's like when I set up the live stream, I'm like, yep, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that. And then obviously, I get it started. I can't remember what I was saying. So what can we do? I did a video earlier today, and it's just it gets I get very very frustrated when people think that you know you can make a difference. Oh, we're going to vote these guys in because they're going to be better than those guys. And then 4 years later, it's just a vicious cycle. And it drives me insane that people don't see it and how realistically they're both on the same team. Like right now, we're doing this whole debt ceiling thing, right? So let me clue you in how this is going to go. All right. So the Democrats shoot for this really high debt ceiling when in reality, like if you ever bartered, you're going to know what I'm talking about. So you shoot for the high number, but the number that you really want is down here, and what you're hoping for that it's actually going to be higher, that you're going to get a higher price. So like if you're trying to sell something, and you want, let's say, okay, here's a great example. So I'm going to put a price on it for $10 and hope that I get seven. That's where I want to be. I want to get seven out of it. Hey Arturo, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that. Uh, so I'm selling it for 10, and then a guy comes in and he says, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 850." Well, then I just made $1.50 more on that thing that I was going to sell because where I wanted to be was $7, right? So this is the example of what goes on with these politicians. So what'll happen is the Democrats put this ridiculously high proposal out there for raising the debt ceiling. The Republicans are coming back with saying, no, no, we can't go that. It's too much, blah, blah, blah. So they'll eventually bargain amongst themselves and they'll come up with some number, and it's going to be a win. Both sides are going to claim a victory. Both sides, well, we were able to avert disaster, and we've raised the debt ceiling. And the Democrats are going to say, well, we got this victory because we got this program to go through and this program to go through, and we're going to be able to study the path of the snails and how they go. So we've earmarked $200 million to study how long it takes a snail to go 3 inches. I mean, ridiculous wasted money is done with these things, and I'm just giving that as a joke type of thing. There's a whole bunch of different things out there that we should not be putting our money into. The Republicans are going to claim victory because, well, see, we got them so that they didn't go as high as we had hoped for. But at the end of the day, the debt ceiling is going to go higher. They're going to vote. They're going to make the debt ceiling higher. That's going to happen one way or another, right? And to me, it's like, why are we not trying to balance this, try to reduce the debt? Why are we continuing to get it higher and higher and higher? Because at some point, uh, there's no, you're over the top. You're never going to be able to get it to anywhere else. They're, I mean, there's only so much money you can print. I mean, that's all they do. They just print more money. It's ridiculous, and all it does is devalue the dollar, or they could default and try to bring havoc. Well, they could do that too. A reset now, and now because of this problem, now we're going to go with a digital currency, right? There's it's whatever whatever's going to happen, and realists also like borrow till you're broke. Who are they borrowing from? Really, I mean, I know China has a lot of our debt, right? We already know that. They tons of bonds and stuff like that. China could screw us right now by selling all that debt. They have been selling a lot of that debt. Hey, Troy, a little something to help out. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Thank you very much. But it's just it's this game, and people just they buy into it. They buy into it. Like things are going to change. Things are going to be better, and they're not. They're getting worse. And people are stressed, and they're you know people are more concerned, which they should be more concerned about, how are you going to feed your family? How am I going to get enough gas money to go to work to take care of the bills that are piling up? And everything gets more and more and more and worse and worse and worse constantly. You know, it's insanity. It is absolute insanity. So, what can we do? What can we do about it, right? The reality is, it's nothing we're going to be able to do to change any of that. So, it's never going to change. So flipping out about it and getting frustrated and getting mad and it's going to change nothing. So what can we do, right? What we can do is we can focus on preparing for after it all goes down the toilet, because I think that's where we're headed. You know, that's the reason for the coin shortage running out of common sense. Yeah, no kidding, JJ. But it's the biggest manipulation, in my opinion, that we're dealing with in those type of things right now, and it drives me absolutely crazy. Yeah, and stop sending billions to Ukraine. Exactly. Exactly. It's just it's amazing to me. It is, and it's not gonna stop. But what we can do is we can continue to prepare, continue to get ready, take care of the people that we love and that we care about. There's that old saying, and that I've said many many times: you prepare for the worst and you hope for the best. But I mean, unless you clean house, nothing's ever going to change. Nothing is ever going to change. You know, so here's a question that I have, and we'll go back to this. This is on tape. This is on tape. So when Biden was vice president, he went over to Ukraine, and they had a guy that was investigating, a prosecutor investigating the corruption, and Biden was sitting there, and he talked about this, guys. He talked about this, and he said, "Well, we told him that if he's not gone, this $1 billion package or whatever they were giving them at that particular time, we'll take it back. We'll hold it up, right?" And what happened? That prosecutor got fired. He got let go because because what was he investigating? Something that Biden didn't want him to investigate, but he sat there and he bragged about it. Now, if that isn't blatant corruption, I really don't know what is. That you're going to say, well, listen, unless you do what I want, we're going to take this little care package that we were going to give you and take it back. How is that? How is that even allowed? But it happened, and then he sat there and bragged about it. You know, the prosecutor mysteriously disappeared too. That I don't remember seeing that. That's not really surprising though. But it's craziness. The whole thing is just absolute craziness, and it just continues to do the same thing over and over and over again. But it's just not going to change. It is not going to change. But like I said, what you do in preparation, being ready to do what you need to do to take care of the people that you care about, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So, you know, chime in. I got a peanut gallery over here tonight, so they're talking amongst themselves. I'm sorry, am I disturbing you? Yeah, they're all in cahoots. They all work together. You have to understand that. I mean, this is the reality. You have to understand, and I've said it many, many times. Politicians, I don't care what side of the aisle, doesn't matter what side of the aisle, they're going to take care of their rich friends and the special interest groups that got them elected, and that's it. That's it. They don't care about us. They're never going to care about us. If they cared, why would? So here's a question. I wonder, does Biden get sick days being president? Does he get to have time if something happens that he's able to get the time off that he needs? I'll bet he does. But yet he's going to sign off outside of the railroad, right? And not give the railroad workers their, which they asked for was sick leave. Heaven forbid that the railroad workers, should be able to take time off if they're sick. you know yeah, every day's a sick day for him. I like that. That's actually funny. But it's just, why is the government getting involved in that? Now I understand that we need the railroads to keep going, in working, and that's great, but let's take care of people. Now you have all these workers. A lot of them, the majority of them, are disgruntled, and for good reason. They should be disgruntled because they got screwed once again. And in these unions act like they're doing something for you, and what are they doing? They just collect your money. They collect your money. That's not looking out for your people. Because if you're the head of the union, who cares what the government says? You go, okay, we're going on strike, period, end of story. You shut it down. I'll tell you what, they'll come to the table, they'll figure it out quick then. They would, especially with the railroads, because so much of our stuff is transported with that. So, but if you ask Biden, he is pro-union, right? So how's that being pro-union? I don't know. I just, like I said, I just don't get it. I don't get how more people are not upset about what's going on. I really, it baffles me. And I don't have the answers. I really don't. I really, really don't. We should be able to have a third party. That would be a good start. For a different choice. But what difference would that make at the end of the day? Realistically, just more people to be corrupt. To be blackmailed, uh, bribed, whatever the case. I mean, it happens all the time, guys. It happens all the time. So he's throwing you under the bus, Steve. Yes. He just threw you under the bus in the live stream. He said it was Steve. Steve was the one. So, you guys are funny. I'm dealing with children here, Sandy. I'm dealing with children. Grown children, but children nevertheless. Anyway, anybody have any questions that you would like to ask? Any questions about anything that we're doing down here or any of those type of things? JJ said Mac needs to be home by 9. Okie Ford said he thought it might be Little Steve. No, Little Steve's sitting on his lap. Bees are doing good. Actually, what I'm going to be doing, that's a good question. What I'm going to be doing tomorrow, I'm going to be putting the second box on the hive, and I will do a video on that to show you guys what that entails, what that's about, and stuff like that. So that video may be, I'm not sure, because I'm not exactly sure what time I'm going to be doing that with the bees, but that may be tomorrow. It may not be. It may be the next day. I'm not sure. But I will definitely be showing you that part. The bees are doing well, though. Uh, Building comb like crazy, and just they they were pretty active today, just because we had 2 days of really crappy rainy weather, and they were just They were more active today. So watching you up on the pavilion roof made me anxious about you falling. It. No, I was very, very careful, Don. Very, very careful. Will you guys be painting the roof? Why does people? What's with the painting of the roof of the pavilion? Let me just be 100% honest. There will be no painting of the roof of the pavilion. It's going to be brown. If you come back 10 years from now, the roof of the pavilion is going to be brown. I just there was another lady. Oh, you need to you. Oh, this is my favorite. My favorite. You need to. You need to. You need to paint the roof a green. Why? Why would I paint it? Exactly. Why would I paint it? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean it's wait till mine gets there, it'll be red. Well, I caught so much crap. I caught so much crap because I painted the battery room red, and that was Mom's fault, by the way. That was Mom's fault. I was on my way to go get paint for the battery room, and Mom's like, oh, you got to paint the battery room red," and I'm like, "All right, I don't care." So, yeah, I like the brown color of the roof too. I think it's a very neutral color. Um, so I don't know why people are like so, and it was just a couple, and I'm not trying to hammer on anybody. I just was like, why would I paint it? So I look lost without my Harley. Yeah, I got to get my Harley soon. I definitely got to get my Harley soon. I need that stress relief that uh, just yeah, it blends in. Oh, with painting it green or brown. There's a lot of dirt around there, so it blends in with the ground. So, if I throw stone all around it, should I paint it gray so people think that it's just more stone? Uh, Mark's built, Dave's building. Who's next? I know that we got some stuff we got to do for Mark to get his building more squared away, and we're going to be working on that the next time. Like I said, the focus, like I said, on this get together, the focus was getting that well, getting some fruit trees in, getting the blueberry bushes in, more stuff in the garden. But the main focus was getting that pavilion as squared away as we did, and it was like I said again, it was a lot of work. A lot of work. And it was good. You know what I mean? It was good. I mean, we were all tired, we were all exhausted, but we all felt really satisfied. Do you have any idea what you'd like your house to look like? You know what, Miss T? At this point right now, that's not a huge priority for me. There is other things that we really need to focus on first before I worry about trying to build something for myself. Down the road, I'm thinking one level because not getting any younger. So I definitely don't want to have to be working stairs or anything like that down the road. So I definitely want to try to think about one big low level, um, you know, place for myself down the road. I want to have plenty of storage. Imagine that I would want storage. I want to have a huge pantry. So there's no, I don't want a tiny house. No, no, I don't want a tiny house. Ronnie says Mark can't work on his house yet. He has a floor to build in the pavilion. That's so funny. Ronnie, we're going to put you in charge of the floor. Dave said so. Dave's been talking. He thinks it's a good idea to have you run that as far as the floor goes in the pavilion. Basement for storage? No, actually, storage is going to be in the bunker. That's where storage is going to be. So, Asif, that. So basically, what I'll probably do when I do build, it'll be up on blocks again, so I can get under if I need to for access to work on whatever. But as far as cough, cough, I can't make it. I'm sick. Yeah, I don't think so. But no, it's all storage I want to do eventually will be underground, so that it's way more temperature controlled, climate controlled under there. So, but Yeah, tiny house on top of a very large basement next to a shelter. Yeah, I don't know. I might do like a 20 by 24 or a 20 by 30 or something. I'm not 100% sure yet what I'm going to do. I'd have to sit down when I get to that point and figure exactly. I actually had somebody suggested start with one area, build an area, and then just continue to add on. So, I mean, that may be something that is going to be happening as well. We're going to build a barn dominium, open floor plan. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that as well. Will others set up solar? Yes. A couple other people have talked about setting up solar as well. So yeah, there will definitely be more solar down here as time moves on, because we have people that are going to be up in the upper meadow and then the lower meadow. So we can't be running extension cords and all that stuff. When are you putting up the electric fence around the bees? That's on the agenda, Larry. I don't have a timetable when exactly that's going to happen. So I'm just going to kill the volume of this. All right. So I don't have a timetable when exactly that's going to happen yet. But are your neighbors preppers? They're really, I don't think so. But they're country folks have a different mindset. Like I know that one of my neighbors does a ton of canning and all those type of stuff, and it's more of no, it's just a notification. It's not anybody calling. It is more of a people. It's just that mindset. They've always prepared and stocked up and had a lot of their own stuff. So I have lived in a building like you're making the pavilion. Delbert said, "That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's big enough. It's 12 by 24. So I mean, if somebody was going to do that, that was your neighbor who passed away buried at the cemetery on your property? No, actually, Billy. What she ended up, she had wanted to be cremated, and her ashes dumped in the river. So that's what her husband did. He had her cremated. And I'm not sure if he's put her in the river yet or not, but that was her wishes, and so that's what he's going to be doing. Yeah, because I asked him if she was going to be buried out there, and that's when he told me no, that she wasn't going to be. But yeah, I just like I said, I as far as for what I'm going to build, it's going to be on the side where I park my truck. That's where I'm going to be, eventually having something built. And like I said, I don't know when that's going to be. If I realistically, if I had to live in the camper for a couple of years, I'll live in the camper for a couple of years. I don't care. It works for me. I got everything that I need. So there's not like this big rush that I have to have something else built right now. So, it's functional, it works. You know, if, what I may end up doing, what I may end up doing is building a porch area in the front here and having an area where I could put in a wood stove and do that. You know what I mean? Keep the camper door open and let that wood heat come into the camper. So that's an option as well. So that most likely that would be something that would be you know one way to do it. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, the campers that they have today they're nice campers. You got all the luck. I mean, I got a stove, I got a microwave, I got a fridge, freezer. There's a shower in here if I want to use that. Toilet, the whole 9 yards. So, I mean, anything I want to use, I can use, and it works out for me and Hella. It's enough room for us. Like I said, I can't wait to get something squared away underground so that I can get rid of a lot of the crap that I have in my camper and open that up. So that's what I want to try to do, down the road here. So it's just like I said, it's a process. It is a process, but if I had to live in a camper for a few years, I'm absolutely okay with that. There is other you could build around the camper, and when you get it done, move the camper out. Yeah, I mean, there's always that too. There's always that as well. So, like I said, I'm just gonna do what. There's so many other priorities right now than me trying to get another house going for me. Because I have shelter, I can live in here. Once I skirted the camper and put the Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good. As long as you have some place to lay your head, building houses isn't a priority really, and it's exactly it. Are your mom and sister planning on coming to live in West Virginia? I know my sister has no intention of moving to West Virginia. She has her fiance up there in New York. You guys probably seen him on video there, Rick. Really good guy. He treats my sister very well. So they're definitely staying in New York. Uh, as far as mom goes, I don't know. She's in a senior high rise, and so everything's right there for her within walking distance and stuff like that. Is we'll have to see down the road. I'd love to have Heather come down here and be down here. Right now she's staying up there in New York, and that's what she's doing. So, but and like I said, that's perfectly fine. She can stay on the property as long as she wants to. So we're going to see what happens. But so that's where we're at with that whole thing. What do we got? 309 in the chat. We're at 139 on the thumbs up, guys. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that uh, to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time. Also, I want to thank you for, it really makes a big difference with algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel as well. So thank you for that reason. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. Billy Kid Norwood asked, "How is Heather's bartending job going?" She loves it. She's really enjoying it. They really appreciate her. Heather is a good worker. She's always been a good worker. Always been a good worker. So it is. It's not a surprise to me. And with the work ethic of a lot of you know, with a lot of people today, having somebody that's a worker, that's a good thing for a boss. They're going to try to keep that person. So they're really happy with her. I guess Miss Molly's doing good. I don't know if I've told you guys or not. I don't think I have actually. Tell you what's going on. Actually, we did have another loss, unfortunately. Um, Miss Soxy passed away. I may have mentioned it. I don't know if I did or not. But so unfortunately, we're down to three cats in New York now. She ended up getting an infection, and like it was a bad tooth, and it went to her brain and it killed her. It was like really really fast, and so Heather had called me. I think it was last week maybe, and she had told me, and that one kind of made me really sad because I really like Miss Soxy. I think she's an awesome cat. But so we got Buddy's gone now. Lucy passed away, and now Miss Soxy has passed away. So Max is still up there. Uh, Miss Stella is still up there, and then Miss Molly. So now Max is the old man now, because I think Max is about 12. I think Miss Soxy was about 13, if I'm not mistaken. So, but can I get the first steak on the Pavilion new stove? Oh, I'll tell you what, I can't wait till we got that set up and got that wood stove running in there and stuff like that. That'll be awesome. Yeah, I wanted to bring Soxy down here with me because I thought that way I could give her more, one-on-one attention. No, I'm not going to sell the New York property. Nope. My sister and my daughter are living on the property, and so yeah, I'm not going to sell that one. Yeah, it was very sad. I mean, Heather was very upset, obviously. Ed, your beard kind of looks like a cross between distinguished gentleman and senior discount. Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, it's getting there. It's longer now. Grows very very fast, very very fast. Next fall, cooking homemade beef stew in the pavilion. Yeah. Well, the cool thing, you know, with the progress that we're making, and by the time we get to next winter, the pavilion will be fully functioning. We'll be able to completely close it in when the weather gets cold. So we have an area that we can go into to warm up, to be out of the weather, and not trying to sit outside around a fire pit. That's going to be an amazing thing, and so it is. It's a huge part of. I don't know how old my cats are. They were picked up at a trailer park. That happens. I hear you, but yeah, we will have that. Yeah, you got okay. So the roof is now on the pavilion. That part is done. Okay. What we're looking at next here in June is getting a floor into the pavilion. All right. So once we have the floor into the pavilion, I mean, throwing up plywood on the walls is going to be, that's a no brainer. That's easy. That's not going to take long at all. Getting the wood stove set up and then figuring exactly how we're going to have it, because we'll have like one level will be solid that will be there. So we'll have like the entrance in to the pavilion. And Ed, I'd like to donate a full blooded black Dutch puppy if you're interested. I'm really not. Thank you, though. I do appreciate that. We got the two dogs in New York and got Hella down here, and my game plan is down the road here at some point. And when I do breed her, I'm keeping some of the puppies. I love German Shepherds. I grew up around them as a child. I've had German Shepherds as an adult, and having her has been just an unbelievable blessing. She's a fantastic dog, and so I definitely wood floor, not concrete. Concrete would be very expensive. So, oh yeah. So, what we'll have eventually with the pavilion, we'll have a loft area where we can have supplies that we can store up on top. We'll have the ends will be closed in on those. We'll have on the one end of the pavilion where we're going to put the wood stove, it's going to be closed in up to the first opening, and the back wall is going to be completely closed in. So that will be an area where you're not going to have any of that type of that wood and stuff like that. Or, I mean, the winds going through there. We will have plywood on other parts, but then higher up, we want to either sliding or something that we can open and have screened in, so that we can be protected that way from, like, in the summertime, the bugs from getting in there, and then in wintertime we can close it up and have a more secure area to be able to cook, to be able to hang out when somebody's cold, to go in there to be able to warm up and those type of things. So I had to put my dog of 7 years down today. She got fluid in her uterus and needed an $8,000 surgery to save her. I'm so sad. I'm sorry to hear that. And you know what? It is ridiculous. And I hate to say this because it's like I will slam on veterinarians. The amount of money that they charge, and they pull at people's heartstrings. And I've had them try to scam me in the past. Saying, oh yeah, well, when Heather had Bella, okay, and Bella, what she had a UTI, an infection, and they were like, oh well, we could do this test, this other test, and it was like a ridiculous amount of money. And I said, you know what? Why don't we do this? Give me the antibiotics for the cat. We'll give the cat the antibiotics. If that doesn't work, we'll be back. Well, guess what? Amazingly, just antibiotics worked. The cat was absolutely fine, and she lived many more years after that. So people will, a lot of, not all, let me just rephrase this when I say this, veterinarians take advantage, but a lot of them sure. And the manipulation that I have seen on old people with animals by veterinarians makes me sick. I was doing a lot of private duty work in a high rise building, and I saw there was a lady in there, had a kitten. And she's like, oh yeah. She goes, I got the kitten. It's on special cat food. The vet said that I have to have the special cat food for this cat. I go, well, where do you get the special cat food? Oh, well, I buy that from the vet. I mean, sickening. Perfectly healthy little kitten, and they got it on all kinds of crap. And this poor woman's buying special cat food because this manipulation by that veterinarian made me sick. So don't get me started on vets. I don't, or veterinarians. Let me just rephrase that so people understand what I'm saying. I don't always have a super high opinion of a lot of veterinarians. Now, that being said, I had a veterinarian that was a traveling veterinarian, and he would come to your house, and he was cooler than cool. I had a cat one time that we wanted to get this cat fixed, and this dude came to the house and he fixed my male cat right there in front of us. It was amazing, and he was reasonably priced. So there's going to be good vets, there's going to be bad vets, but unfortunately, I have seen a larger percentage of veterinarians that were not in it for the right reason. Not everybody is Dr. Pole, okay? I mean, he is the exception rather than the rule. Most of them don't give a crap. So, but that's just my opinion, my own personal experience of what I've seen. And you know what? I got to tell you what. I don't think. Let me just see if Becky texted me. She did not. She was supposed to. All right, hold on. Let me do it this way. I talked to Becky earlier today, and she says, "Oh yeah, I'll text you the egg count." So hopefully they get back to me before it's egg count time. Was not even thinking about that. So anyway, but yeah, it's very difficult when you have I couldn't even imagine having to have to make that choice. But who's got 8 grand sitting around for a surgery for for a dog or a cat or something like that? People just don't have that kind of money. They just don't. So you know, then you end up doing what you have to do, and that's a tough choice, especially when they could have been saved. You know, but 8 grand. I mean, that's crazy. John says, and on top of that, the cost of cremation. Oh, don't even get me started on that. Yeah, cremate the dog, bury it at the pet cemetery, and charge people ridiculous amounts of money for that too. Or if you're going to euthanize the dog, they charge you ridiculous amounts. We paid $400 a piece just to have our Saint Bernards cremated. Yeah, there's Joe. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You know. So yeah, it's just and again, they play on your heartstrings is what they do. Like I said, I love this dog. I love this dog with my whole heart, and I want to do everything I can to keep her safe. But if they said to me, "Oh yeah, it's going to cost you 8 grand," I don't have 8 grand. There's nothing. What would I do? What are my choices? I'd have to have her put down, you know. And then they're going to charge you ridiculous. And we did 5 of them. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's just craziness. That is craziness. I know that Heather had um, Bella cremated when Bella died, so she actually has her in a little urn that she keeps in her room. So just paid 282 for a weekend stay for the cat meds, care, cremation, and put in an urn. They even got her paw print. Yeah, that's craziness. I don't know. I'm just, it's about money and permits. Want to die to get a permit? Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Think about this. I want you guys to think about this. Well, now we're talking about cats and dogs and and how you feel about that. You just lost a loved one. Let's just say, wife, husband, child, right? So now you go to the undertaker because maybe you have like if it's a sudden death and it wasn't expected. You know, German Shepherd just cost me $400 for an annual checkup. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So, but we're going to change the name again tonight, Joe. We're not even going to call it Beagle Acres anymore. Maybe we're going to call it tonight. Will be Chihuahua Acres. Just being a goof. Just relax. So, but no, but it's if you had a loved one just pass, right? You just had a loved one pass. Hold on, I think I got a reply here. Oh, very good. All right. So I have the appropriate count. So anyway, if you have a loved one pass, now all of a sudden you're like in shock. Person has passed away. You're emotionally just wrenched apart, and you have to go sit down with the undertaker. And now you got to make all these decisions. What are you doing? Are you having this person cremated? Are you having them put in a casket? And think about this. They try to talk you into putting them into a casket that they're going to cremate them in. So that's going to cost them more money, cost you more money. Are you going to bury him? Do you have a plot? All these things. And it's more money, more money, more money. I know that, like, when my father, you know, I had asked him when he was about 80, I asked him, I said, Dad, are you, do you have your stuff set up for when you die? You know? And he goes, No, I haven't done it. I'm like, How long you think you got? I mean, he was 80 years old at the time. I mean, he wasn't in horrible health, but he wasn't in great health. He was 80 years old. And he never ended up doing squat. He never took care of anything. So, when he finally got to that point where he was really bad, he was in a hospital for a month, and then he spent 2 months in a nursing home before he passed. And he was 85 years old. Um, you know, Buddy passed away. We had Buddy pass away first, then Lucy passed away, and now Soxy passed away. Yep. So we lost three cats over the course of, actually, I think it's over the course of the winter, and then this year. But anyway, it's what was I saying? Oh, so with my father, we had to figure out what we're going to do. So he wanted to be cremated. That was his wishes. He wanted to be cremated. He wanted his ashes dumped in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So I go to the funeral home. I make the arrangements. So when he does pass, because he was on his way out, that they would go and pick up the body. They would take him. They would cremate him. They were asking me, do you want to urn? Do you want anything? And I'm like, no, just cremate him, put him in a box, and give me the box. And that's going back. I think it's almost. God, I think he's been gone almost 11 years now, something like that. It's been a while. It's probably 10, 11 years ago, and it cost $2,000 just. No frills, no whistles, no ceremony, no nothing. Just to have him cremated, it cost us $2,000 to have that done. Um, and so, they cremated him. I got his box with his ashes, and basically it wasn't a wooden box, but it was like a heavy plastic. And you opened it up, and there he was in a plastic bag. So, yeah, and that, like I said, and this is, well, stealth mode. Yeah, it's 3K down in Florida. We're talking 10 years ago. I imagine it's probably closer to 3K now, and that's just for the bare minimum. The bare minimum. And so, yeah. Fortune Cookie just said mom's funeral was 15K. Yeah, and that happens. That's what they do. So they get you in there. What do you want? Do you want the best for your loved one? They play on that, and then next thing you know, you got this huge bill that you're trying to pay to take care of that loved one. One of my group members went through that with somebody that he knew that had passed away, and they had to come up with the money to bury the. It was his sister that had passed away, and it was rough, and he was going through. It was a rough time for him, and but it amazes me, you know how they play that game, and then the worst part is, and here's other things that happen. Okay, so the person has passed away, and this family member wants this, and this family member wants that, the other family member wants something else, and they're all fighting, and who's going to pay for it, and it's ridiculous. It should not be that. I'm tell you what, I'm very simple. I've told Heather way ahead of time: cremate me, dump my ashes on the property, period. That's it. That's what I want. I don't want a big procession. I don't want a big showing. No, nothing. I don't want that. Just cremate me, bring me down here, dump my ashes on the property. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. So, Rhonda said I had to borrow money when my son died. Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible time. In the industry, the the funeral industry is huge, huge money. You know, and I'm donating my body to science. They pay for the cremation. There's nothing wrong with that either, Don. Nothing wrong with that either. So, but it's a tough situation like that. It's very, very tough, and a lot of people go through it, and it's at the worst possible time. Ed, I said the same thing to my son and hubby. Cremate me, bury me at home, plant a rose bush on top of me. Nothing wrong with that. Nope. Money should be for the living. Flowers should be for the living. Sending flowers when somebody's dead, what does that do? Right. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I said, I would rather, if you gave a crap about me or you liked me or didn't like me, if you wanted to see me or didn't want to see me, do it while I'm alive. Do it while I'm alive. When I'm dead, don't make no difference anymore because I sure won't know about it. You know what I mean? So, but I saw one that was so funny. There was a guy that had died, and they were at they did the funeral and they're lowering the casket into the ground, and he had pre-taped um, like as a joke at his funeral, like hey, I'm in here, let me out of here, and it was just it was hilarious. But I mean that he had fun with it, you know what I mean, and I think that that's awesome. So, but anyway, guys, it is egg count time, so let's go ahead and do that. So, how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck? And Max guess doesn't count. No, I'm only kidding. I guess we'll count his. So we'll give you guys a moment, and we will get your guesses in, and we will go from there. What do we have? 310 in the chat. We're still at 195 on the thumbs up, guys. Again, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a big, big difference with the algorithms as well. So thank you very much for that as well. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right. If you had the same exact guess as Nostradamus with 8 eggs and no for Miss Thickneck, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations to him. You've won absolutely nothing. So, a story from the 1930s: a man who had no friends, a woman photographer, single parent, showed up, signed the book. A month later, an attorney got a hold of her. Will said, "Who showed up gets the fortune." Wow, that's wild. That's wild. Yeah. Yep. Prepper Patty says, "Newsflash: cremation costs are almost as much as a funeral." No, they're not. Not even close. Not even close. Did you not hear the woman that said that her funeral for her mother was $15,000? 15K. Cremation probably about 3,500, between 3 and 3,500 now. So that is a big, big difference. So, but anyhow, getting back to originally what we were talking about. What can we do? Um, we have a government that is about themselves, not about the people, and that's just an opinion. I don't have anything to back that up, but what I have to back it up is that our lives get harder and harder and harder, right? While their lives get easier, easier, and easier. So that kind of shows me where that is at. And yeah, caskets can be very, very expensive. As my husband wants a Viking funeral, he's putting it in his will. Whoever does it gets the money. There you go, Pam in Wonderland. Thank you very much for the donation as well. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Viking funeral is not a bad way to go. Not a bad way to go at all. DC has lost. Every state should set out National Guard and imprison them in DC or they're in their homes. Yeah, it is such a mess, and there's so much corruption. Uh, whatever political establishment, city, town, whatever, the corruption is unbelievable. And how do we know that? Because when these people get caught, they've been caught for things that they've been doing for years, misspending, donations that were supposed to be for the election. You whatever, excuse me, whatever they're spending it on, but they're not spending it the way they should. And insider trading is a big issue. Yeah, I don't think that people that are voting on, laws for big pharma or oil companies or insurance companies or banks should have stock in those companies because that's a conflict of interest. But that's been going on, you know, forever and ever and ever, and that's not going to change. You ever wonder why there's so many millionaires in Congress and Senate? You ever think about that? You ever wonder how that happens? So, old Mutt says going to the VA cemetery. Nothing wrong with that either. Nothing wrong with that. Can I help you? Uh-huh. Yeah, and they say crime doesn't pay. Yeah, it's it is amazing to me when you have these people that do all kinds of terrible things, and like white collar crime, for an example, and they get to go to nice prisons where they might have tennis courts and all that type of stuff. But you or me, we do the same thing, and we're going to the worst possible prison that we could possibly go to. So it's just you know like the guy. God, they made a movie about him. He was on Wall Street, and they were scamming people bad. I mean, millions and millions and millions of dollars they were scamming people, and he went to prison for a very short time. Very short time. Who was that guy? I'm trying to remember. Jordan. No, it wasn't Madoff. Yeah, the Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan. I know. I can't think of his last name. Bernie Madoff is another one, right? But it was Jordan something from the movie A Wolf of Wall Street. Name. But now he goes around. Now he goes around and he's like, yeah, Belfort. Yep, Jordan Belfort. Thank you. I couldn't remember his last name. Now he goes around. He's like a motivational speaker. He's a piece of crap. He screwed people out of millions and millions and millions of dollars. And how is that okay? How is he walking in the streets? How does he? Yeah, making millions now. Exactly. Yep, making millions. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And they made a movie. They made a movie about him being such a scumbag and how they were all doing drugs and like I said, what? Hi. What are you doing, baby? Oh. Uh, no, that wasn't the one with Michael Douglas. Nope. Nope. Matthew McConaughey was in that one. He was in that one. That was with uh, oh gosh, the actor. Now I'm going blank. But anyway, there's a double standard how it goes. And Leonardo DiCaprio, thank you. Yes, did a great job in that movie. It is. It's a very brain fart night. I'm telling you, my brain is definitely not working. I am very, very. I don't know. The last couple days, I don't know. Just my energy level has not been very good. I will say that. So I think part of it was the weather. I think they had a lot to do with it. Now today was nice. It was sunny, so that definitely made it. It was nicer, but it's just I feel like I have a brain fog going on for some reason. So So I apologize for my lack of enthusiasm, if you will, tonight. I just, like I said, I just don't have it tonight for some reason. But I don't have allergies, so the pollen wouldn't have anything to do with it. Don says I'm still recovering from surgery. That'll do it. That'll do it. They say to get rid of all the anesthesia out of your system. Oh, excuse me. It takes almost a year. It takes almost a year. So, is that raining? No, that's just a generator. Never mind. I thought for a second, I'm like, wait, it's not supposed to be raining. So, my cousin passed away in January. His last request was be cremated, dump his ashes in the mouth of the Mississippi River in Minnesota. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, nothing wrong with it. Now, here's the funny part. Like when my dad was cremated, right? And he wanted his ashes dumped off a pier in Myrtle Beach. It is actually illegal, without getting a permit to dump ashes into the ocean. Now, which I find ironic as could be, because look at all the crap that they dump in the ocean on a regular basis, and then they don't want you to dump somebody's ashes into the ocean. So what I did, my sisters went down there, Margie and Michelle, and so I said to Margie, and you guys have seen Margie on video before. Uh, what I said to her was, "Listen, here's the box. You take that out of the box. You put it in a plastic bag." I said, "Put it in your purse. Take a pair of scissors. Walk out on the pier. Cut the top of the bag off, and then dump him in." I said, "Don't you dare get a permit. Dump him in the ocean." And she didn't. She did what I told her. Why are you letting these people make ridiculous? It's absolutely ridiculous. So let's see. 10 to 20 miles offshore international waters. Right? Exactly. Exactly. If you think about where we've come in this country, and how much we're taxed, and and then we let's put it, are we freer than most of the people in the rest of the world? Absolutely, yes, we are. We are way more free than most people. But if you think about how much we are taxed and how much we are controlled, our forefathers would be picking up the rifles and they would be on ready to go. They would be ready to go. They would have had enough of this nonsense. Um, the whole Revolutionary War, the tipping point was an increase in tax on tea, 2 cent increase in tax on tea. And people were like, nope, I had enough of it. Stealth Mo says, we are ready to go here in Florida. Well, like I said, guys, all we can do is the best that we can. And when the time comes, we'll do what we have to do. You know, we'll do what we have to do. Had surgery Monday, sleepwalk that night. LOL. Hey, I find Waldo. I saw that things so far look good, and I'm glad to hear that. And hopefully the biopsies that they took will come back benign and not malignant. And so you're in my thoughts for sure for that one. So just wanted to let you know. Yeah, every time someone says there ought to be a law, we lose more freedoms. Exactly. At the end of the day, realistically, it comes down to two things and two things only when it comes to the government: control and money, period. End of story. Nothing else. That's all they care about. They're going to control you, tell you what you can do, what you cannot do. There's certain states where in counties where harvesting rainwater is illegal. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. That they can try to dictate to you, or they're going to tax you on your property of how much water would fall on your property. I mean, these things are insanity, you know. And then if you live someplace that has a homeowners association, they will dictate to you what you can and cannot do in that homeowners association. Why would anybody want to be in that type of place? I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. And It is amazing to me, absolutely amazing to me that But more and more people, they're like, yeah, tell me what to do, how to do it. I was out today, and I was in a store, and a lady ahead of me had a mask on, and nobody else had a mask on at all, but this lady had a mask on, and I'm like, why? You know, I mean, are you that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. They're not telling you have to wear it anymore, right? They've said that you can take them off. So I don't get it. I just don't get it. But hey, to each their own. You know, have fun with it. I just, like I said, I don't understand it. I really, really don't. I was going to say something else, but I can't say it here on YouTube. That will be for a Rumble video. I still got to make some Rumble videos, guys. I mean, what I do here gets transferred over to Rumble as well, but I need to make some exclusive content just for Rumble, and I will at some point. I promise. All right, why don't we go ahead and we're going to do some shout outs. So we're going to start out with Ikikan up in Canada. Really good guy. He's more than 3 hours north of Toronto, so he is way, way up there. Also, really good guy. Been living off grid almost as long as I have. Probably a year short of me as far as living off grid goes. So I've been doing it, what, 9 years? So I think he's got 8 under his belt now. You have Angry Prepper down in New York City. That is Jason. Really good guy. Definitely check him out as well. You have Alaska Prepper. That's Rudy up in Alaska doing his thing up there. Again, good guy, good channel. There is Alaska Granny. You have the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. 2 different channels, same guy, building up in Canada, building his homestead up there. Amazing to watch him build. He does a fantastic job doing that. You have Demcad, another good guy. I like him as well. You have Corporal's Corner. There is Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks doing his thing up there. Nice guy as well. There is Bizarrizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Interesting story. I would definitely recommend you listen to that story. You have Marfugal News. That is Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Really good guys. Good listen to. Been on the show a couple times, and they're really down to earth guys. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star. That is Cody. Really good information on his channel. Tells it like it is, and I like that part of that. You have Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily. She's over in Europe. You have Kyle's Cabin. You have Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up in Minnesota. Another young couple. Fun to watch them as well. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Husband wife team doing their thing. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. So they're really, really good people. So definitely check them out as well. You have Green Greg's. Green Greg's is a good guy as well. A lot of gardening tips, really good information on his channel. There is Southern Prepper 1. He has the Boots on the Ground series, a lot of good information with that as well. There is Gray Man. You have St. Bernard Acres with Joe, or if you would like, you can call it Chihuahua Acres. I'm being a goof. Please don't no hate comments. But Joe knows. So anyway, Doug and Stacy, another good channel. A lot of good information on their channel as well. You have the Nomadic Movement. They are down in Panama. Nice young couple down there. Just had a little girl living their dream down there with a group of people down in Panama. You have the Green Dream Project. They are out in Arizona, showing you how to live off grid out there. So really, again, interesting to watch what they're doing. Camping with Steve. That's Steve Wallace. He does stealth camping. A lot of fun to watch him. Really nice guy. Very, very down to earth. You have Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. Really good channel. A lot of good information on her channel. There is Boss of the Swamp. Again, another good guy. been around a long time. Great builder as well. A lot of good ideas with him. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch project. Diamond's been around for quite a while. Good channel as well, and a lot of good information. Grand Solar Minimum, all that type of stuff. Really, really cool to watch him. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer. You have Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear, and he is in the Canary Islands of La Palma. So definitely check him out as well. Mary Greeley News. Now, Mary Greeley gives you all the information with the earthquakes and what's going on, and gives you updates of Yellowstone. And really, she's got a lot of good information with that. There's Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There is Ice Age Farmer. Ryan Hall Y'all. If you're going to get your weather, you should be getting your weather from Ryan Hall Y'all. Really down to earth guy. Very passionate about the weather. Gives back to the community big time. So I really, really think that that's awesome. So definitely check him out as well. Let's see. The Outsider. You have the Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. Simple Life Reclaimed. There's Townsend's showing you what life was like in the 1800s. So definitely check that one out as well. That may be something that we all may need in the near future. You have the Prepared Mind. There is Pinball Preparedness. He is down in Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness, the Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. They're also down in Tennessee. A lot of good channels out there, and I'm sure you guys have added some more in the chat, which is fine. I do believe we should be supporting each other, and we'll go from there. I think that there's, like I said, a lot of good information out there, and that's what happens. Who are you talking about? Somehow he got blocked here, and Ed will have to fix it. Who got blocked? Don, who got blocked?
I think Prepper Rebel.
Prep Rebel shouldn't have been blocked.
He hasn't been on. They said that he couldn't get on before he was blocked.
He shouldn't be blocked. I'll have to look and see, but I don't. I know I didn't block him. All right. Yeah, I will. I will look into that because he should not be blocked. The list of people blocked is pretty long, so. Pencil Tucker Granite says, hitting the hay early. See you all soon. Sleep well, my dear. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. But it's got to be YouTube doing that. Yeah, it's got to be YouTube doing that because I give him a shout out. Why would I block him when I'm giving him a shout out? You know, a lot of games, guys. A lot of games being played. It's unfortunate. Um, you know, it's crazy. Uh, you know, people being unsubscribed like crazy. Nobody getting notifications. Like Dave said, he didn't get the notification for the live stream at all for tonight. Yeah, YouTube threatened to suspend or terminate my account recently. Yeah, I don't understand what's happening with what they're doing. It's like cutting off your nose to spite your face because somebody has a different opinion. That's I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. You have a right to your opinion even if you're wrong. So. Prep Rebel is listening and says hello. Okay, well I will look and see if he's been blocked. It could have been YouTube that did it. So, but if I can unblock him, if he's on a block list, he will be unblocked. So, YouTube is getting rid of all preppers now. I think you have a lot of them have decided that they just had enough. They got enough being screwed with and they left. I think that's what's happened to a lot of channels, to be honest with you. That's what I think's happened to a lot of channels. So it is unfortunate. It really, truly is. But Anyway, let me get another drink here real quick. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, let's get ready to rumble. Exactly. Uh, we are Legion. We are many. We're all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? So let's do that. Franklin County, Ohio, Tucson, Arizona, BC, Canada. We have Central Iowa, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge, Waterloo, New York, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. There's Sandy in Nitro, West Virginia, Stealth Mode in St. Augustine, Florida, Missouri in the Ozarks, Western North Carolina, Clearfield, Pennsylvania, the UP of Michigan with Dawn. Let's see, Lee County, Arizona. We have Georgia in the house, East New Hampshire, Minnesota, Montana, Alabama with Deborah. Let's see, Shawnee National Forest in Southern Illinois. Very nice. Uh, Pallatico, Idaho. Janita, I hope I said that right. I know I didn't. We have Deborah in Alabama, Robert in Seattle, Bay of Island, Newfoundland, Canada with Mar, Troutman, North Carolina with Troy, Milton Keynes, England, in Great Britain. Very nice, Linda. Glad to have you here. Thanks for staying up. Clarksburg, West Virginia with our squad. Finleyville, Pennsylvania with Susie. Sandusky Bay, Ohio with T Star. But Pocatello, Idaho. Okay. Okie Forge. I never would have got that right. Never would have got that right. But anyway, we are all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We definitely should be supporting each other. We have Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I know I said that. I butchered it tonight. Uh, let's see. Alabama with Carol. West Central Ohio with Dale. So, anyway, guys, again, we're all over the place. I do believe that we should be, if we ever connected and organized, that'd be a scary thing. Scary thing. They would really crap their pants then, especially an organized group that's prepared. They do not want that. They do not want that to be happening. So, anyway, yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm actually going to cut it a little short tonight because I am really tired. I'm feeling off. So uh, I want you to remember. I want to thank my moderators first of all, who do a great job keeping the chat clean. I appreciate what they do. I appreciate the support from you guys. It really does make a big, big difference, and I do appreciate that. I'm going to crash out early tonight. I'm just like I said, I feel off for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to try to get some good sleep. Anyway, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much, much better shape. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right? I hope you all have a great day. Be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.